All right, this is the fourth step of the process. This is the decision maker presentation. So we came out, first of all, again, we prospected, got the decision maker name, makes final decisions. We called that decision maker back with the appointment setting script, set the appointment. Second, came out, the third step was going through the first appointment, making sure we set the second appointment, picking up those pain points. So when we come back out, we have an opportunity to close the business. So we're going to go through the actual decision maker presentation now. Pay close attention. Hey, Heath, good to see you again this week. Had a good meeting last week, and just wanted to come out. We've got some things put together for you. I think you're going to be really pleased with. First and foremost, the thing I want to tell you is, a couple of pain points that you talked about. I'm going to address today throughout this presentation. So, and I'll make sure you understand what they were. Talking about like your out of pocket on your health insurance. Also that you offer, Aflac and a competitor of ours, where we can save you money in regards to that as well. And also a little bit about maybe streamlining that enrollment process and eliminating some of that headache for you. And really, most importantly, helping your employees better understand what they have and how to use it. Okay? So I'm going to introduce you to Colonial Life. Okay? Colonial Life has been around since 1939.
Is this going to take a long time?
It's going to take about 12 minutes. Okay? Just so you know, Colonial Life is an A-rated insurance company, according to AM Best. Our parent company is Unum, which I believe is a Fortune 300 company. The reason why I tell you that's not to brag about how great and how much money these companies have. It's more or less if you're bringing in an outside vendor, at any time you want to make sure they're reputable and they're financially sound. And I know for a fact that Colonial Life brings both of those to the table. I wouldn't represent them if they didn't.
Okay.
The unique thing about Colonial Life is we're actually three companies in one. Okay? We're a benefits communication and education company. We are an enrollment company. And lastly, we are an insurance company. Okay? So let's talk a little bit about benefits, communication, and education.
Okay.
Did you know that they say that over 80% of all Americans that have benefits, whether they pay for them or their employer pays for them, don't even understand what they have or how to use it?
No.
You probably believe that after our last discussion, right?
Yeah.
For sure. Well, most importantly, what I like to tell you is we actually have a team of certified benefits counselors that will come out and sit down with each one of your employees on a one-on-one basis and help them better understand what they already have in place, even if it's something we don't offer, health insurance, dental, vision, life insurance, whatever it is, so they have a better understanding of what they already have in place.
Okay.
And in the process of doing that, maybe show them some holes in different places that we can help fill in the process. Greatest part about that is, Heath, our certified benefits counselors will come out and sit down with each one of those employees on a one-on-one basis at absolutely no cost to you as an employee.
That's a good thing to hear.
Okay? Speaking of, what I always tell people at this point is the worst thing I can do for you today is probably save you money. A little bit of time, going to cost you time when it's all said and done, but we're going to save you some money, okay? Get into the enrollment process. What I always tell people is, give me just a second, we'll get into that, okay? When we start talking about the enrollment process in enrollments, we have the largest national enrollment team in the United States today. So what that means for you is, obviously having 35 employees, you're not going to need the largest enrollment team, but you're going to need a very effective enrollment team. For you, we can do as little or as much as you'd like. We can actually take every benefit that you already offer, put it in our Harmony online enrollment system, sit down again with each one of your employees on a one-on-one basis, go through, help them understand what they have and don't have, and make their elections every year annually for you. Okay? If you like the process you already have in place, by all means, keep it. If not, you feel like you can be more effective, we can look more deep into that.
Yeah, I guess you have to talk to Bob on that because he does the
right,
stuff. Yeah.
Right. And that may be something I always tell people when we start looking at what we're doing. Maybe it's an implementation here first, and then maybe going into your plan year next year. We can get with Bob, and if Bob wants us to, great. If not, again, I'm not here to step on anybody's toes. Okay. The next piece of this is going through, and by the way, we do that at no cost as well.
Okay, cool.
So even for Bob, we do it at no cost.
Okay.
So that's a good thing. The next thing I'll show you is we call this here a challenge wheel. Okay, and this is kind of obviously looks like a pie, and this kind of goes through maybe challenges that you have as an employer, and also some challenges that your employees may have when it comes to benefits and different things. Okay, I know you would probably say, and we already all know this, that your number one expense that you face every year is your wages.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Tied right along in with that is your required benefits. Matching FICA tax gets expensive.
Yep.
Workers' comp, I'm sure you have here.
Yep.
That can get very expensive. We have a simple, small solution that we can put in place at absolutely no cost for you that can help drive that expense down. Now, let me tell you, we're not going to save you a fortune, but a few dollars here and there will help.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
The next biggest expense that most companies look at is their major medical insurance.
Yeah, it is.
It goes up every year, right?
Yeah.
Hadn't gone down in the last few years, has it?
Not at all.
Okay. Well, what I like to tell people about major medical insurance, first of all, and I was told this when I first got into the business, it's kind of like a block of Swiss cheese. It's got a ton of holes in it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times your employees, we talked about it earlier, go to the doctor and then they pay this $35 when they're at the doctor or whatever, and then they call you the next week going, hey, I got a $50 bill in the mail from this doctor. I don't know why. I thought we had health insurance. You have to stop and explain it to them again. It goes back to benefit communication and education. But most importantly, it comes back to some of the other things we're going to be able to put in place as well.
Okay.
Last year alone, 62% of all bankruptcies that were filed due to medical bills. Did you know that?
No. That surprised me.
Right. Well, here's the number that really blows me away every year. Over 78% of those folks that filed that bankruptcy due to medical bills had major medical insurance.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How's that happen? There's two reasons. We've already went over one. Lack of benefit, communication, education. They didn't know what they had. They didn't know how to use it. So at the end of the day, when it was time to use it, $3,500 deductible, met that, but forgot about their rent and everything else, right?
Yep.
House payment, whatever it may be. That's where we come in. We insure the most valuable asset that each one of your employees possess. We do a great job of insuring our homes, our cars, our lives, everything around us. We do a terrible job of insuring our income. Income protection is my march. I'm not here to insure, make sure the doctors get paid, hospitals get paid. They're going to get paid one way or another. I'm here to put money back in your employee's check due to any kind of accident or sickness. Okay?
Yeah.
That's where we come in. Survivor benefits, I know you said you offer some life insurance now. This is more of a buy-up option that we bring to the table at absolutely no cost to you. Okay? Because I'm pretty sure you're paying for the majority, if not all, of the other life insurance we talked about the other day. It gives everybody some options. What I want to tell you about life insurance is they still say to this day that over 40% of all Americans, so that means 4 out of 10 of your employees here, don't have enough or have none at all.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
So we're going to be bringing options to the table for that as well. Last thing I'll talk about over here is catastrophic illness. Heart attack, stroke, and cancer. Big three, right?
Yeah.
Did you know that over 66% of all cancer expense is not paid for by major medical insurance?
Doesn't surprise me.
Right. That's where we come in. Okay? Again, all this is going to be geared more. Take your mind off of health insurance and put your mind into income protection. We're looking for ways to put money back in your employee's pocket in a desperate time.
Yeah, well, most of my guys live paycheck to paycheck.
Absolutely. We're going to get to that here in a minute too as well. Let's talk about our products. I'm not going to get too deep into the products. We'll just kind of go through them a little bit for you. First product we'll talk about is our accident plan. It's 24/7 on and off the job. I always tell people whether you stump your toe or you break your neck or anything in between, if you seek treatment, it's going to be paying money to you. Why is that important? Let's just say you're out one weekend and you sprain your ankle playing softball, right? And you have to miss work that Monday morning to go to the doctor and find out if you broke something or it's just sprained. Our accident plan that you're going to pay less than an hour's wage a week for a $10 an hour employee for is probably going to pay you at least $250. So if you miss a day's worth of work, but you pick up $250 over here, that's going to help cover some of that out-of-pocket exposure your health insurance didn't pay for, and also put money back in your pocket to pay your house payment, car payment, lunch money for your kids, whatever the case may be. Dental insurance. We offer probably, I would say, for a company your size, one of the most, I don't want to say state-of-the-art, but one of the, it's going to set a trend for a lot of companies. This is an individual PPO dental plan. What that means to you and anybody else is you're going to get a card just like you would. It's not a reimbursement plan like the old dental plans you see with these type of companies. You're actually going to have a card where you go see a dentist. Will have a network. When you go in to see those dentists at those network, you pay your deductible if it's necessary, but you get your teeth cleaned twice a year. You get, there's orthodontia benefits. Everything is there. You don't have to file the claims. They file the claims. It's a standard dental plan.
That's kind of the stuff my employees have asked about, the dental stuff.
Well, here's the best part about this dental plan compared to most for a company your size. A lot of times every year, if you offer a true group dental plan, you got to get a renewal every year. The rates change just like your health insurance. How would you like to know you can put this plan in place, and when they elect this plan, their rates will never change?
Cool.
Yeah, so, and it's very competitive in this market space too as well. Next plan we'll talk about is our hospital. By the way, this plan costs basically less than an hour's wage a week for a $10 an hour employee as well. Okay. Hospital confinement plan, we talked about, you've seen these plans probably with the company, the carrier you're with now. They're a little different. Ours is a little bit different. Ours is more tailored to fit towards your health plan, right? So, like if you have a $3,500 deductible, we can set this plan up to pretty
probably
much.
Probably go with $5,000.
Right. We have options up to $5,000, just so you know. But if your employee's ever confined to the hospital, it'll pay that $5,000 directly to them. If they haven't met their deductible, they can use that money to pay their deductible, or they can also use that money for whatever, pay their light bill, house payment, whatever the case may be. We can tailor this plan also to where it fits out, it touches on basically on like a standard PPO health plan. It's going to touch on every piece of their out-of-pocket exposure. It's not going to pay for it all, but it'll touch on every bit of it and help eliminate and soften the blow a little bit. Okay. This plan, again, tailored the right way, is going to fit a $10 an hour employee for less than an hour's wage a week. Okay. Disability insurance, this is probably one of my most favorite things to talk about. This is the true income protection we were talking about earlier. What I tell people about Colonial Life and what they did with their disability plan is kind of a really neat thing. They brought a big company benefit to small companies. That's what I've always told everybody. Yeah. So with 10% of your workforce that participates in our short-term disability, it's guaranteed issue for everybody. So that means most companies your size have gotten away from offering short-term disability because it becomes a little bit of a difficulty to help qualify for on an individualized basis, right? Mm-hmm. What this does is you guys that have high blood pressure, take 3 or more medications, diabetic, things like that usually wouldn't help qualify, we're going to be able to get them short-term disability.
Yeah, Aflac denied me. We didn't, because I had a heart attack 3 years ago.
We're not going to deny you. It's guaranteed issue as long as we get the participation, which you're talking about 3.5 people in your group have participated out of 35. Once we see everybody one-on-one, we're definitely going to make that happen. Okay. Life insurance, I always tell people we do all 3. We do whole, term, and universal life. This is where I really kind of start digging into telling you that each one of these products are kind of designed to fit individual needs for individual employees. I don't know what you need. You don't know what I need. I may need an accident plan, and you may need hospital confinement. I don't really know, but we have something that tailor fits everybody. We also have some nice underwriting exceptions on our life insurance to help make it easy for people to qualify for. Okay. Talk a little bit about cancer insurance. I always tell people you don't think you need cancer insurance until you get cancer. I've been through some situations over the last few years where I've seen people that have actually used our cancer plan, and it's pretty interesting to watch. Again, plan costs less than an hour's wage a week. It touches on anything from, chemotherapy to initial diagnosis to anything involving cancer. Like for you, you're married, right? Mm-hmm. So if you had cancer and it was bad enough and you had to go to MD Anderson down in Houston, your wife work?
Yep.
Yeah. So if you had to be down there for 3 days, who's going with you?
She would have to.
Right. So you're taking a 2-income family, turning it into a no-income family overnight, right?
Yeah.
That's where this plan comes into play. It's going to pay for lodging, different things like that. Okay.
Cool.
We had a person that actually took this plan out. Long story short, within 3 months, they were diagnosed with cancer. Their plan paid them over $24,000 in less than 6 months, and she was in remission within 6 months, which is a pretty quick recovery. So you can imagine how important that could be. Yeah. Again, this plan costs us an hour's wage a week for a $10 an hour employee. Cool. Critical illness, for your group, if we make this thing work, I'm going to be able to probably bring that to you at a guaranteed issue plan where everybody health qualifies from the very beginning, as long as we see all of your employees on a one-on-one basis, which we do, or we don't do business. Mm-hmm. But the bottom line is we'll be able to get them up to $15,000 guaranteed issue. Now, this plan's different. It's a lump sum plan. So if they have a heart attack, they have a stroke, they have major organ failure, they go into a coma, they get occupational, which is probably not going to happen here, HIV or hepatitis, things like that, it's going to pay them that $15,000. I always tell people, why do you think that's important? Well, if you've ever met anyone that's had a heart attack.
I have had.
Right. So you're out of work for how long after you had your heart attack?
Oh, about 3 months.
About 3 months. So you were probably okay because you own the business and things like that. But imagine that guy out there working on that widget machine.
Yeah.
What happens to him if he's out for 3 months?
Oh, he couldn't make it.
Right. So this plan here, how would that $15,000 help him? It would help him tremendously. Because he's going to have out-of-pocket that his health insurance didn't pay for, and do pharmacy, whatever it could be, follow-up visits, and then all of his standard bills he has every month anyways. Those are going to go away. And so that plan is definitely something you guys need to look into. And great news for you is we can get that plan for you too, even though you've had a heart attack.
Cool.
There'll be some pre-existing clauses in there, but we'll definitely be able to take care of that. Okay. Now, what I want to do now is, instead of going through all this and wasting any more of your time, I think you can see what we do, is really go through our process and how we're different than most, okay? First and foremost, what we're going to do is we're going to come out and we're going to poll your employees for you at absolutely no cost. We're going to find out what that interest level is before we ever even get started. Because most importantly, I know you don't want me to waste your time, but I don't want to waste my time either. Okay? And how we do that is like I did last week, 1 o'clock today, last week and this week have been good, so we'll set it up for the next week to come out. And we're going to come out and we're going to bring out packets with all the information for each one of our products. While we're there, we'll have a sign-up sheet for everybody to fill out. When we come in, we're going to sit down and take about 7 whole minutes and do a polling, okay? Find out who's interested. When they walk out the door, we're going to hand them those packets, okay? As they get that packet, we're going to write their name down by a specific time. And then the following day, our benefits counselor will come out with that sign-up sheet and sit down with each one of your employees on a one-on-one basis And if any of your employees would like to take out these products, all we ask is you set up a payroll deduction and remit the payment once a month. What's your tax ID number so we can get this paperwork started?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I mean, it kind of, maybe if you follow back up with me, because I'll, I will talk to some, because, they got Aflac right now, and nobody's really unhappy with it, so maybe, so I don't waste time, I'll just go kind of talk with them, see if they want to look at another carrier.
Let me ask you this. We talked, when we talked last week, you said something about if they can save money, this is pretty much something they would do, right?
Yeah.
So just so you know, we're 20 to 40% less expensive than Aflac, okay? So pretty much what I tell you is we can do this one of two ways. The easy way is I can do a cost comparison for you, bring it back, show you, or understand that I already know this because I've been doing this long enough to know that we're 20 to 40% less expensive. And if I can't save your employees money when we come back out, I don't want to waste your time or my time, just like I talked about before.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just, that's a good point. Maybe I'll talk to Julie just to make sure she don't have any issues with wanting to change the payroll up.
Right. Well, I tell you what, is Julie available right now?
She's out of town.
She's out of town? Okay, great. Could you get your hands on that Aflac bill?
I don't know where she keeps it.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what we can do. Let's slow down a little bit. Okay. What I'm going to do is, when is she coming back into town?
She'll be back tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Okay, great. Being that today's Thursday, on Tuesday morning, I'm going to swing by and I'm going to pick up that Aflac bill from you. Okay. If you get it before then, I'll leave you my email address. You can go ahead and send it to me. Okay. Well, Tuesday when I get that Aflac bill, I'll put you together a comparison. And Thursday when we come out, before we do our group meeting, I'll show it to you so you can see the savings. We'll talk to Julie real quick. So instead of getting here at, say, 1 o'clock, we'll get here at 1 o'clock. We won't start the group meeting until 1:30, so we'll be done by 1:37. I guess is the best way to put it, 1:40. And we can make sure that what I'm telling you is accurate.
My guys have different shifts and stuff. I mean,
it's perfect. How do their shifts work out?
There's 3 a day. 3
a day. So you work a 10 to or 11 to 7, 7 to 3, and 3 to 11 shift. Yeah. Is that how you do it? Mm-hmm. Okay. So basically, what we would do is, how many people do you have on? Like,
it's equal. There's 10 that work each shift.
Okay. So we'll still come out around 1 o'clock, 1:30. Show you the comparison, and since you have some that come in at 3 and leave at 3, mm-hmm. we'll do a group meeting for 2 shifts at one time, mm-hmm. okay? And then the following day, when we're getting them enrolled, we'll catch the 11 o'clock shift that gets off at 11, and we'll go ahead and do their group meeting, and then that following day we'll come out and get with them on a one-on-one basis. It's not a big deal. We work with shift work all the time.
Maybe, I can call Bob. Maybe I just need to call Bob, too, to see, if he knows anything about y'all.
I'd absolutely love to talk to Bob. Is there anything you see that we brought to the table that you don't like?
No, I mean, Bob doesn't do the Aflac stuff, but mm-hmm. Maybe I just ask him about this.
Sure. I mean, you can ask whoever you want to ask. I don't want to keep you from asking anybody. But what I always say is he's not doing your Aflac. Bottom line is I'd love to meet with Bob and make sure introduce myself to Bob, because a lot of times we can do business with brokers. We do a lot of business with brokers as well, and really work that angle with him. But ultimately, it's going to come down to your decision. So, I don't whatever it takes. What do you need to see from me to earn your business? I guess would be the bottom line.
I don't know, just kind of a quick, a quick decision maybe. I think.
I got you. Well, like I said, I'll be back Tuesday to pick up that bill, so maybe we can meet with Julie then, give you some time to think about it, and then we'll get that bill picked up. And if I'm 20 to 40% less expensive than what you got right now, can I earn you business?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Perfect. We'll just do that then. I think you went a little too far in the wheel. Just going through the decision maker presentation. I hope that helps everybody. A couple of things that I want to point out throughout the decision maker presentation is, number one, build value in what you're selling. If you set the tone at the beginning of, this is a reputable company that we work with, they're financially sound, that's going to build value. When you go through benefits, communication, and education, enrollment company, and lastly an insurance company, you're setting the tone for working conditions through benefits, communication, and education. If you really build value in benefits, communication, and education on a one-on-one basis, like I did in the illustration or the deal we just did, you're going to see how much easier it is to get those one-on-one working conditions. You're going to hear me throughout every product. I always say less than an hour's wage a week for a $10 an hour employee. It helps eliminate the cost question or that my employees can't afford it. So I'm trying to proactively handle objections before they come up. And then the close part of it, you hear me say we're going to poll your employees at no cost. We're going to find out what the interest level is. I also let him know that my time is important as well. It also, that's going to help push him away from, let me go talk to my employees. Let me go talk to my employees. You know, and the next piece is assume the close. You know, pick a date and time. I always pick the date and time that I've been back to the first two meetings for that group meeting. You know, and when you get done picking that date and time, stick with it. Close the deal. And what I mean by close the deal, go through the process. We're going to poll your employees at no cost. You know, find out what the interest level is. While we're there, they're going to hand out packets when they walk out the room. We're going to, you know, get a sign-up sheet with everybody's name by a specific time. And when we come back out, we're going to sit down with each employee on a one-on-one basis. And if any of your employees like to take out these products, all we ask is set up that payroll deduction and remit the payment once a month. What is your tax ID number so we can get this paperwork started? I'm assuming the close. You'll find when you start doing that, you're going to get the deal set up. Speaking of working conditions, once you get that, what's your tax ID number, and they start filling that paperwork out, get the paperwork filled out, but slow down and explain the process again once you get that yes. Make sure they fully understand you're going to come out for 7 whole minutes and meet with their employees to do the group meeting. Make sure they fully understand that while you're there, you're going to get that sign-up sheet, and make sure they fully understand that when you come back out the following day, we've got to sit down with each and every person on a one-on-one basis. Okay? Good luck.